Well, breaking tonight in West St. Louis County, investigators are looking into a homicide. Right now, details are few, but here is what we know at this point. County police tell us one man was found injured inside a home on Cedar Bluff Drive, which is just west of Highway 141 and south of Big Bend. Our Kimberly Donahue just arrived to this scene. Kim, kind of paint the picture for us of what's happening in this neighborhood right now.
Corey, right now there is a very active scene here on Cedar Bluff Drive as St. Louis County Police try to piece together what exactly happened this afternoon that led to that man's death. I'll step out of the way so you can get a look at the scene police are working with. This home behind me is blocked off with crime scene tape, and there are several police cars parked on Cedar Bluff Drive. St. Louis County Police say a man who lived in this house was found dead in the home. Police say officers conducted a welfare check at the home just after 1 o'clock this afternoon. Officers say the man had injuries to his body, but they didn't go into further detail about what those injuries entailed. Officers say there is a person of interest in custody and will be talking to neighbors to try to find more out about the man who was found dead. And anyone with information about what happened is encouraged to call St. Louis County Police. Live in West St. Louis County, Kimberly Donahue, First Alert 4.
Kim, thanks for the update. Well, new tonight.